Awesome, perfect. Good morning. Welcome to Saturday morning yoga. Thank you so much for joining me today on the mat. We're going to go ahead and get started in a nice, easy child's pose position, bringing the big toes together in the back, sitting the hips back onto the heels, letting the chest melt forward to the ground. We'll find our center here, taking a nice deep inhale into the back rib cage. And a slow exhale, push all of the air out. Maybe allowing the forehead to rest on the mat, the gaze to soften, or eyes to close. Deepening the breath here, bringing the awareness inward. And just setting the intention for your practice here, connecting movement with breath, staying present in the practice, and being graceful with yourself, knowing that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, expecting frustrations to arise in poses. Do your best throughout the practice. Another deep inhale here. And slow exhale out. On the next inhale, we'll activate through the fingertips, coming onto the fingertips of the hands, really stretching long forward with the arms. We'll go ahead, walk the hands over to the right, maybe allowing the left hand to rest on top of the right hand, or even for the right hand to sweep behind the body, grabbing the foot behind you. Coming back through center, we'll take it the other way, walking the hands over to the left. Right hand stacks on top of the left, or maybe the left hand sweeps behind you towards the foot behind. We'll inhale, come back through center. We'll roll up with the spine, lifting the hips, rounding forward. We'll drop the hips all the way through, squeezing the glutes, a gentle back bend here, cobra. Feel free to keep a bend in the elbows, stay low, squeezing the shoulder blades together in the back. And we'll exhale, lift through the hips, arc the spine as we roll it back into child's. Inhale, rolling forward, dropping the hips, coming into cobra pose. Back bend here, chest pulls forward. Exhale, push the hips back into child's pose. Once more here, we'll inhale, roll the hips forward, dropping the hips down to the ground, opening the chest. And we'll exhale, push the hips back to the heels, child's pose. We'll slide the hands forward here, bringing the hips right over the knees, letting the chest fall open towards the ground. Puppy pose. And pressing up with our hands, we come into a tabletop, bringing the wrists right under the shoulders. Cat-cow here, we draw the navel down, open the chest on the inhale. Exhale, round through the spine. Inhale, open the chest, pull the navel down. Exhale, push all the air out, round through the spine. One more time here with your breath. And we'll come back through center here. We'll tuck the back toes, walk the hands a little bit forward, kind of loading the hips back towards the heels. We press straight through the knees, lifting the hips up high into our downward facing dog. We'll bend and straighten the knees here. So first downward dog, probably of the day. Feel free to just add here whatever movement feels good for you. Pedaling the feet maybe. Reaching the heels towards the ground, hips high in the air, letting the chest fall back towards the thighs. A nice deep inhale here. And exhale, we'll round forward with the spine. Drop the hips down, squeeze the glute, open the chest forward, upward dog. And exhale, we lift the hips all the way up and back into a downward facing dog. Once more, we inhale. We're going to roll forward into plank here, find a plank. On the exhale, we bend into the elbows, lower to the ground, taking a low push up here, chaturanga. Feel free to drop the knees. We'll inhale forward and up with the chest, upward dog. Exhale, take it back into downward facing dog. Wonderful. We'll inhale, lift through the heels, bend the knees, step the feet in towards the hands, taking them about hip distance. A slight bend in the knees here. We're going to hang, dangle. So let the upper body be very heavy. The head is heavy, hanging. Relaxing here. We'll grab opposite elbows. Give a little sway side to side. We'll have a generous bend in the knees here, the belly sort of reaching towards the thighs. Let the spine decompress. On the next inhale, we straighten through the knees, hands to the shins, halfway lengthen. And we exhale, forward fold, maybe with straighter knees this time. Before inhaling, rounding all the way up to standing, reaching arms overhead. And exhale, hands by your side. Let's further get into the warm-up here, some sun salutations. Grounding through the feet. We inhale, rise the hands overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we halfway lengthen. Exhale, we fold, step the right foot back, drop the back knee. We inhale, lift, rise into a low lunge. Exhale, plant the hands, step the front foot back into a downward facing dog, straight back there. We inhale, roll forward into plank. Exhale, low push up, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward. We drop the back knee, rise high into a low lunge. Exhale, plant the hand, step the back foot forward, folding into a forward fold. Before inhale, reaching all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale, hands by your side. We'll go a few more rounds here just to really kind of do the repetitive motion, help with the circulation, the rhythm being meditative. Take it at your own pace. We inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, left foot steps back. We drop the back knee. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, we plant the hands, step the front foot back to our downward facing dog. Inhale, we roll forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Let it go. Inhale, left foot steps forward, drop the back knee, rise the hands into low lunge. And we plant the hands, step the back foot forward, releasing into a fold before inhaling all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale, hands by your side. We'll go 2 more rounds here. Inhaling, arms overhead. Forward fold on the exhale. Halfway lengthen. Plant the hands, right foot steps back. Low lunge, reaching high to the sky. Plant the hands, step the front foot back into downward facing dog. We inhale, roll forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, pull the chest forward and upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward. We drop the back knee, lift it high, low lunge. Plant the hand, step the back foot forward, releasing into a fold. We inhale all the way to rise. Then exhale, hands by your side. One more round here. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. We inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, left foot steps back, drop the back knee, rise into low lunge. Exhale, plant the hands, we step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. And downward facing dog, you know it from here. We'll inhale, left foot steps forward, rise into low lunge. Exhale, plant the hands, back foot steps forward into a fold. And we'll inhale, rise it all the way to standing. And exhale, hands by your side. Awesome. We're going to get a little bit deeper here into it. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen, hands to shins. Exhale, plant the hands, right foot steps back. We drop the back knee, rise into our low lunge. We'll plant the hands. We're going to start to just push the hips back straight and through the front knee, half split, forward into low lunge. So the front knee is bending and straightening. We're going forward and back. Exhaling as you go back. Inhaling as you lengthen forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. We'll stay forward here, lifting up into our low lunge. Let's take the hands to the hips to apply some extra pressure there. Sink lower. Maybe drawing the back knee further away to go deeper into the stretch. Opening the chest, maybe doing a gentle back bend on the inhale. We'll exhale, plant the hands, push the hips back, straighten the front knee, and flex the foot, taking a fold here. Feeling the right hip draw forward, left hip draw back. Using your breath to help you release and relax. We'll tuck the back toes from here. Straighten the back knee. Awesome. We're from here, but still again bending and straightening the front leg. You can kind of keep the toes grounded, the foot grounded as you do this. Feel free to also put your hands on some blocks. We'll straighten through the front leg and walk the hands backwards, fingers kind of pointing towards the back side of the mat. We're taking a pyramid fold here. Pause here, or maybe you try to add some movement, bending and straightening the back leg. We'll walk the hands forward, planting them. The front foot, we're going to sweep it all the way up and back into a three-legged dog. Reach it up high. And we'll exhale, bend into the knee, drop the knee towards the left thumb. We're coming into pigeon pose here. So the left foot can kind of draw closer in towards the right hip. That'll make it a bit less intense. The more you kind of make the shin parallel to the front of the mat, the more intensity you'll feel. We'll roll the right hip down towards the ground. Let's just start here with bending the back foot, pulling the back foot in. If you have a strap or anything you can kind of lasso around the foot, help you pull it in, definitely a good move there. We're just getting into the quad here, so grabbing the back foot, we're trying to pull it in a few times. Releasing the back foot down, squaring the shoulders forward. We'll lengthen on the inhale. Exhale, take a sleeping pigeon, relax. Inhaling, we press up with the chest. We're turning open here. The back knee and foot kind of turn up to the sky. So our sit bones are square on the ground. We'll inhale, lengthen the arms overhead. Exhale, right arm inside the right leg as the left fingertips reach overhead towards the toes. We inhale, come back through center. So mobility challenge here. There's a few options you can take. This is the challenging version, kind of the plan for the class. So try your best, but you can always kind of just meet me in the pose too. We're going to take this bent knee, the left foot, plant it on the ground, and lift the hips up here into a low lunge skandasana. So alternative, you plant the hands, you press this foot up, and you come into a low side lunge. Maybe your hips are high, or maybe you can sink them down towards the left heel. Right toes and knee pointing up here. We'll plant the hands at the top of the mat, pivot the back knee down, planting into a low lunge. So if you got confused at any point along the way, that's okay. We're coming into a low lunge, tucking the back toes, lifting the back knee, and stepping the foot into standing. So meeting me in a forward fold while exhale, take a fold. Inhale, reaching all the way up to standing, arms overhead. And exhale, hands by your side. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, left foot steps back. We drop the back knee down, reaching up high into our low lunge. Planting the hands on the ground or on some blocks. We're pushing the hips back, straight in the front knee. Bending, come forward into low lunge. We exhale, push the hips back, straighten the leg, and forward into lunge. So just adding this movement at your own pace, back and forth. We'll come forward, bending the front knee, low lunge, rising up here with the chest, hands to our hips, sinking low. Plant the hands, push the hips back, straighten through the leg. Take a half split fold here. So flexing the toes, really straightening through the leg. Left hip draws forward. We'll inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, take a forward fold. Just breathe here, relax into the pose. Tucking the back toes from here, we're straighten the back knee. We'll bending and straightening into the front leg here. Few times. And straightening through the front leg, we're taking a fold, so squaring the left hip forward. Walk the hands a little bit back, kind of fingertips pointing backwards. You can kind of just hold this pyramid pose, or you can try to bend and straighten the back leg. Straightening through the back leg, we walk the hands forward. We're going to press and sweep the front leg all the way up and back high into our three-legged dog. And exhale, bend into the knee. Bring the knee to the right thumb, coming down into pigeon pose. We square the hips out here, left hip draws down. You might want to sit a block even under the right hip to kind of lift it up. We'll walk the hands back, starting with a heart opener and bending the back foot. We're reaching for the back foot, pulling it in a few times. If you can't reach it, that's okay. You can always try using a strap. Releasing the back foot down, squaring the shoulders back towards the front of the mat. We inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release into a fold here. Inhaling, coming up with the chest. We're pivoting the sit bones so they're kind of square on the ground. The back knee and toes turn up towards the sky. We're open towards the long edge of the mat. Inhaling, overhead hands. Exhale, left arm inside left knee, right arm overhead. I'm going to turn to face you here for this next move. We'll come up with the torso. We're going to plant the front right foot right kind of next to us in front of the right leg, hip, and we're lifting the hips here into a skandasana, side, low side lunge. So if you just want to kind of meet me in the low side lunge, go for it. The left knee and toes stay pointing up. We're going to pivot here. The back toes and knees down into a low lunge, drop the knee. Turn to face you again. And we'll lift off the back knee, step the back foot into a forward fold, releasing here. Inhaling all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale, hands by your side. Awesome. So we'll do the second half of the sequence here. Starting standing, we put our weight into our left foot, hands to our hips. Inhale, right leg lifts straight out in front, flex the toes. We'll exhale, sweep the front right leg all the way back, stepping it into a high lunge, bending into the front knee 90 degrees here. Sink it low with the hips. Reaching up high with the hands. We'll exhale, pivot the back foot down, open the hips towards the long edge. Arms come to a T here. And we're gazing over the front fingertips. This is our warrior two. So a lot of glute work here, really tucking the pelvis, sinking low into the front knee. We'll add some movement. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Left front arm reaches back overhead. And we'll exhale, come back down into warrior two. Inhale, we push back, lengthen. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg, front arm reaches back overhead. And we exhale, come back into a warrior two. Front left forearm falls onto the front thigh, and the back hand reaches overhead for side angle, gazing up here. On the exhale, we pivot the back foot down, hands come inside of this front left foot, and we kind of pivot the left foot towards the outer edge of the mat. We're in a lizard lunge here. Opening the hips. So you could stay here. If you'd like, you can try to gently push the front left knee away from you, rolling onto the outer edge of the left foot. We're going for a twist here. So trying again, we're going to rotate towards that front left knee, bend the back foot in, grabbing it and pulling it in a few times. Again, feel free to use your strap here. We'll release the back foot down. Beautiful. We're going to, from here, further turn towards the left foot, just coming onto the outer edge of the right leg and right foot, that extended leg. We're hip flossing, lifting and lowering the hips. Feel free to adjust the front left foot. You can kind of draw it back a bit if it's feeling too far up for you. And we'll come forward, again, pivoting. So the front foot faces forward. We're in a low lunge. We tuck the back toes. We're shifting the weight forward, lifting the back foot as high as we can up to the sky. Reach it up. And we'll exhale, lower the back foot down, drop the back knee. A few more low lunge rocks. So we kind of just push the hips back and push them forward. A few rocks here. And we push the hips back again, straighten through the front leg. Peak pose is our splits today. Don't know if you could tell you're warming up for it, but it's our splits. So we're from here, you can stay in a half split. hips stacked over the back knee. If you'd like, you can try to start working up to it, drawing the front heel further away, drawing the back knee in the opposite direction towards the back of the mat. We're opening into a split. So even if your hips can't come all the way down, that's okay. Definitely try to use some blocks to help elevate your hands if you need to. We're just going to breathe here, 3 breaths, deep breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. We'll slowly come out, lifting the hips, drawing the heel and the knee back together. We'll shift forward with the hips bending into the front knee. Plant the hands, tuck the back toes, sweep the front foot all the way up and back, 3-legged dog. We're going to just pulse it up here, kind of to counter the pose, and we'll release it down into our downward facing dog. Wonderful. Feel free to pedal the feet. That was a pretty intense stretch, so take some time just to rebound. Whenever you're ready, inhale, lifting the heels, bending the knees, stepping or floating your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, rolling all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale, hands by your side. All right, we'll take it to the other side. Our weight shifts into the right foot. Left foot kind of just lifts straight up in front of us, flexing the toes, straightening the knee. We'll send the left foot all the way back behind, bending into the front knee, 90 degrees, high lunge. Reach the arms up here, active and straight through the back leg. We'll exhale, plant. Oh, we're not planting the hands. We're going to pivot into our warrior 2. So the back foot kind of pivots open, our hips open towards the long edge of the mat. We bring our arms parallel to the ground and a deep bend in the front knee. Shoulders right over the wrist, over the hips. Let's add some movement here. Inhale, straighten the front knee. Reach the front arm overhead. Exhale, back into warrior 2. Inhale, front arm reaches overhead. Exhale, warrior 2. Once more, we inhale, straighten through the front leg, reach the front arm back overhead. Exhale, warrior 2. Front forearm drops onto the front thigh, backhand reaches overhead, side angle, gazing up. Again, a low bend in the front knee, stay low. From here, we pivot down. Hands come inside of this right leg, and we kind of heel toe this right foot to the outer edge, dropping the back knee down, lizard lunge. You can stay right here, or maybe push the right knee away, rolling onto the outer edge of the right foot. We're trying to go for another quad stretch here. Definitely need the quad stretch for the split. So we're trying to pull the back foot in and just try to pulse the foot in towards the glute. We'll release the back foot, come back through center. We're going to keep turning towards this front right knee so that we come onto the outer edge of the left leg and foot. Hip flossing here. We lift the hips and lower it down. So you definitely feel more of a stretch with the right foot further up in front of you, but you can also kind of move it back to make it a bit easier. We'll come back to center, turn towards the top of the mat. That right foot is coming back into our low lunge, framing it between the hands. We'll tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, shift the weight forward into the front foot as the back foot lifts high up into the air. Standing splits here, so we really actively stretch that foot up towards the sky, folding down towards the standing leg. We'll exhale, release the back foot down, drop the back knee into our low lunge. A few more rocks here, kind of pushing the hips back and forward. We plant the hand, we'll push the hips back straight and through the front knee. All right, so this is our moment here, coming into our full split. If you like, you can stay in our half, or maybe you inch the heel forward, inch the knee backwards. We're coming into a split here. Whew. Ideally, you can kind of walk the hands free right by your hips, sit high with the chest, but it's okay if you're leaning over for now. We'll work up to it. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here. Inhale deep. Exhale all the air out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right, we'll slowly draw the heel in, the knee back in, coming back into our half split, pushing forward with the hips bending into the front leg, tuck the back toes, plant the hands. We sweep the front leg all the way up and back, 3-legged dog, stretch it out. Maybe a few pulses here into the air. And we'll drop the foot down into our downward facing dog. Wonderful. Just taking a nice cleansing breath here. Find your center. Feel free to drop back into a child's pose. Perfect. All right. Let's do that. Let's drop it back into a child's pose. Drop the knees, sit the hips back onto the heels, reaching the hands forward. We'll round up through the spine, find a nice thunderbolt seated position. Let's start just into the head, rounding the chin towards the chest. Taking the head side to side. And we'll come back to center. We're going to draw the right arm across the chest here. We'll take the left arm underneath the right arm, and we're interlacing kind of the forearms and wrist into our eagle arm. So just kind of twisting up through the arms. It's kind of hard to explain. We'll reach the elbows up and away up the body. Inhale, just a gentle back bend here, gazing up. And we'll exhale, release back through center. Take the top right arm behind the head here, the hand coming to the center of the upper back. Maybe just drawing the elbow down a bit, taking a side bend, inhale. And exhale, we'll come back through center. Let's switch sides. So left arm pulls across the body and towards the chest. We're going to wrap the right arm underneath this left one, then kind of twist up through the forearms, the wrist, eagle arms. We push the elbows away and up. Inhale, just draw a nice gentle back bend, turning your gaze up towards the sky. Exhale, release forward, taking the top left arm behind the head. Yes, we'll take a side bend towards the right. And release back through center. Tuck the back toes from here, taking a toe stretch. Whew. And we'll press up high onto the knees for camel, hands to the low back. We squeeze the elbows together, shoulder blades shift the chest and gaze up towards the sky. Inhale. You can stay here, kind of pushing the hips forward, or maybe drop the hands back towards the heels, letting the gaze fall all the way back behind you, the neck hanging back, if that feels okay for you. Releasing maybe the toes even to go a little bit deeper on flexing the toes. A nice back bend, heart opener, squeeze the glutes here. Breathing. And we'll gently come out, hands back to the low back. We sit all the way up, back with the hips, resting into child's. Let the forehead come down to the ground, maybe the fingertips reach forward. We inhale, come back up with the chest, hero's pose. So you can keep the feet tucked right under the sit bones. You can also take the feet outside of the hips, let the sit bones come in between the feet if your knees allow for that. We're just gonna walk the hands back behind us, lean back. We're gonna try to get into the quadriceps here. You can come back down onto the forearms or lay completely on your back. We squeeze the glutes here, kind of lift the hips up to really get further activated into the quads. And we'll come all the way forward, releasing into a seat, feet out in front of you. Let's take a butterfly pose. Bring the bottoms of the feet together. Push the knees out towards the ground. We'll bind our hands around the feet. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhaling back up with the chest. Gently just kind of push the feet away from you more, making a diamond shape here. You can just take a fold, maybe push the knees down with the elbows a bit more. Or maybe you take the hands underneath of the shins and grab the tops of the feet, bowing a little bit deeper into our diamond pose. Lengthening the breath. Inhaling back up. Wonderful. We'll extend straight through the legs here, seated head to toe. We reach up high with the arms long through the spine. Exhale, fold forward, belly reaching towards the thigh. So you have to kind of bend the knees. That's okay. If you can't fold very deep, that's okay too. Just thinking about lengthening, straightening the spine, long chest shining forward, flexing the toes here, flexing the feet. Inhaling back up through center. We'll just bend the right knee in. We're going to take a gentle twist, hugging the right knee in. The right hand kind of comes behind your back, and we're gazing over the right shoulder. You can also bring that left elbow outside of the right knee to use it as leverage to get deeper into the twist. We'll come back through center, switch legs, left knee bends in. We turn to the left, hug the knee in, or bring that right elbow outside of the left knee, gazing out over the left shoulder. Left hand is like nice, strong support for you, standing tall, sitting tall. And we exhale, release. Come back through center. Beautiful. We'll just take the feet in towards a nice, easy seated pose here. Just to close off the practice today, feel free to, further play around on your mat, experiment with poses. I'm just going to close off with one last breath here. First, just kind of finding my center, nice, easy seated. We'll inhale, reach the arms overhead, palms together. And exhale, hands to your heart center, bowing to yourself in gratitude for showing up for yourself on your mat today, taking time out of your busy schedule to flow. And thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you have a wonderful holidays and a wonderful weekend. Peace. Thank you.